Hello, everybody. This is Vince Russo, and I'm here to talk about a couple things today. I'm going to give you my 2 cents on the Survivor Series. There is a Survivor Series review today up on the Realm Network with Big Vito LaGrasso and Jeff Lane. Again, remember, you can be a member of the Realm Network for less than $1 a week, and you could still get Castrating the Marks every single week by just subscribing to the Realm Network. Less than $1 a week. You see everything on video a day before it comes out on Podcast One. But there's a video today on the Realm Network. You're going to hear Vito and you're going to hear Jeff Lane. I was not able to do the Survivor Series review last night because next Sunday night, I have a radio show that I'm going to be, giving a go on a Denver radio station, 710 KNUS, next Sunday night from 8 to 11 o'clock. That's Mountain Time. It's going to be running on a live stream, so no matter where you are, from 8 to 11 p.m. next Sunday, Mountain Time, you can call into the radio show. You can ask me a question, and we can talk, and that number is going to be 303-696 1971. I'm sorry, let me say that again. 303-696-1971. It's going to be Sunday night, 710 KNUS. You could find it online. They live stream it 8 to 11 o'clock Mountain Time next Sunday. That's why I couldn't do the Survivor Series review last night. Because I was busy just kind of learning a little bit about that show. Listen, I've always wanted to do radio. I'm still chasing that dream of doing radio. I'm a big fan of radio. I'm a Howard Stern Mark. And see, I said I'm a Howard Stern Mark and have no problem calling myself a Mark because I am when it comes to him. And at 56, I'm still chasing that dream. So hopefully I'll get your support next Sunday. You'll listen to the show, KNUS 710. From 8 to 11 Mountain Time, 303-696-1971. I got up early this morning and I watched the Survivor Series. I must have been up at about, I guess 5:30. So I watched it right away. I want to talk a little bit about that. And listen, I got to tell you something. I want everybody to understand where I'm coming from because, I got an email from somebody today. And, they said they were a supporter of me and supporter of the show, and they're no longer going to support the show anymore because I'm so negative. First of all, bro, if I'm negative, obviously you don't listen to my show on the Realm Network on Tuesdays and on Podcast One on Wednesdays called That's Life, which I always talk about being the most important show that I do. If you look at that show as being negative, then I'll be honest with you, something is wrong with you and not me, because that show is everything but negative. As a matter of fact, I don't think much that we really do is negative. Castrating the Marks is done in a comical way. The Raw and the SmackDown review, and then we have fun with Glenn during the week. When I do Bucket Full of Chicken Necks, I'm talking about things in my life. If the negativity is coming from my feelings towards professional wrestling and the WWE in 2017, then I'll tell you what, I'm not going to apologize for that. I always call it as I see it. And when it's bad, I say it's bad. And when it's good, I say it's good. It's that simple. I want to say this. There are people today that like this product and that like this style of wrestling. There were a lot of people last night, I believe it was in Houston for the Survivor Series. They had a good time. They were into the show. They were loud. They got theirs money. Well, that's great, bro. I'm not denying that. But, on the other side of the coin, there are people that are fans of ballet, or there are people that are fans of opera. There are people that are fans of archaeology. I'm not fans of any of that stuff either. So that doesn't make me a negative person. I'm not a fan of it. It's that simple. I'm not a fan of today's wrestling. Now, there are things that I'll see that I'll like, and when I like them, I will say that. But, one thing is, listen, I'm not interested in fake wrestling fights or choreographed if fake offends anybody. I'm not interested in any choreographed fights, especially if there's no story behind them, there's no characters, there's no me. I'm not interested in that. If you're interested in that, that's great. Go to the shows, buy tickets, buy merch, listen to Meltzer, listen to Keller, do whatever you've got to do. But me as a grown man, I am not interested in that. And let's face it, that's really what this whole Survivor Series consisted of. It was the red versus the blue, a company fighting each other that everybody knows is under the same umbrella. So the whole foundation of it is ridiculous to begin with. But you know what? If you bought into it, great. If you think Shane McMahon really invaded Raw and vice versa, great, bro. Believe it. Great. Me, I thought it was ridiculous, but that doesn't matter. But that led to there really being no heat. Perfect example, the Shield and New Day. There was really no heat with the Shield and the New Day outside of New Day came down, distracted the Shield, and Ambrose and Rollins lost their titles, to Cesaro and Sheamus. That was the big heat. So listen, they just put the Shield together. They're going to put the Shield over in this match, so I did not watch this match. I watched the finish to make sure the Shield went over. I had no interest in this match whatsoever. They weren't going to beat the Shield first time out. And listen, I'm just going to say this. I hope by now the New Day has run its course. I mean, I really hope so, and I really hope they do something different. I mean, look what happened when they recreated the Usos, because the Usos gimmick was stale and old. They recreated the Usos penitentiary, and he gave the Usos life. I hope the same happens with New Day. The girls match, Asuka goes over. Okay, listen, again, there was an attack, in the locker room. SmackDown invaded Raw. Like, that was the angle. I did not watch this match. I did not watch the who got eliminated when. I was not interested. I didn't care. I knew they were going to put Asuka over to make all the marks happy and all their hardcore fans happy. But for casual fans, you're not going to get a wrestler over by them winning fake matches. So you could put Asuka over all you want. That's not how you get people over. You get people over through character and story development, and that's been proven time and time again, long before Vince Russo had anything to do with professional wrestling. So that was kind of predictable. Baron Corbin went over the Miz, which I was glad to see, because they are getting a new guy over, and Miz is over, and Miz's mic skills are always going to keep him over. For some reason, I like Baron Corbin, and I said that I think his look is different, but that was good. I Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. Again, I watched all the finishes of these matches. I did not watch these matches. I'm sure they were great matches. I'm sure Alexa Bliss and Charlotte worked their tails off. Again, this match here had absolutely zero angle outside of one punch. I like both of the ladies. I like the way they put Charlotte over, because I've said all along, bro, Charlotte is the best there. Alexa Bliss is good, but I still think Charlotte is the best. I think Charlotte should be the hood ornament, for the women's division, and I think they did the right thing. I got to tell you, bro, the continuous updates of Raw 4 and SmackDown 3 and Raw 2 and SmackDown 1. I mean, bro, like, again, as a casual fan with a brain, like, stop it already, man. If you're selling this to kids, like, if kids are really believing this is the same company and they're fighting each other and we're keeping score, but I mean, to nauseum, the score, and like, what does the winner win? The win, what, pride? Who gives a rat's ass, to be honest with you? So like that kind of got annoying with me. Okay, let me get down to it. This was a 2-match pay-per-view. If we're going to be honest, it was a 2-match pay-per-view. Let's get to Brock and AJ. I watched this. I watched the last two matches. That's all I watched. I got the finish of the other matches. I watched the last two. I enjoyed the Brock and AJ match. I thought it was laid out well. I thought it told a great story. I think it definitely got AJ over in losing. The only thing I would have done a little bit differently, since there was no heat whatsoever involved in this angle, I would have had Brock shake his hand at the end of it, man. I would have had Brock shake AJ's hand and validate, AJ like that. That's what I would have done. And even if they were going to go a rematch, because we don't know, they may be going to another match. Who knows, bro? But you could even have AJ say, you don't need to shake my hand. I know I'm good. There are a lot of ways to do it, but it kind of felt like that was missing at the end. If you really wanted to get AJ over, the acknowledgement from Brock would have put him over. There was no heat involved at all in this angle, so it might have made a little bit of sense. Let's get now to the main event, which I watched this from the beginning to the end. We saw Strowman put over Nakamura and Strowman put over Bobby Roode. Listen, let's face it, that's exactly why these two guys were in that match. I got to tell you, man, I love Bobby Roode and I love Nakamura, but there are so many of these NXT guys are freaking over because they have tremendous entrances. And that doesn't take away from, Bobby Roode or Nakamura or, Finn Balor. They're not given any character development. I remember one time and one time only, Finn Balor cut a promo about the demon and why he turns into the demon. I saw that one freaking time. Since Bobby Roode's been on the seat, he comes out and says, glorious, glorious, glorious. Like, that's his gimmick. I don't even know, what that means. Nakamura, listen, bro, the whole shtick is the gimmick and pointing to the crotch and saying, come on, now again, bro. The marks love that crap, and that's great. They're all chanting NXT. That's great. The rest of the world, the casual fans that used to watch wrestling and don't watch it anymore, don't care, bro. Like when Nakamura and Finn Balor were in the ring and Michael Cole said, I could watch this all day long, I want to say, are you freaking kidding me, Michael? Seriously, you would watch this all day long? Now, there is an audience that would watch that all day long, but that audience ain't me, and that audience ain't a lot of people like me that they lost and no longer watch the product. And the WWE knows that, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. But Nakamura and Bobby Roode, they were in that match. They were in that match, for the Strowman power slam, whatever it's called. So that's exactly what those two guys were booked for. So that was cool. We went on. Cena beat Joe. Kurt Angle beat John Cena, which was interesting. I mean, that was like the only thing that, was really unpredictable. So you could see Strowman, big guy, okay, star, looks like a star, acts like a star, smells like a star, is being built. He goes over Nakamura and Roode. John Cena, star, goes over Joe. There's been zero character development with Joe. Joe's a Samoan, and they don't even play that up. And he cuts promos that he's mad all the time. That's Joe. So now Kurt Angle and John Cena was interesting because you got two, stars here. They've been stars for a long time. Superstars known world renowned for a long time. That was interesting. That angle went over. Then Randy Orton beat Finn Balor. Again, Randy Orton, an established star, because when Randy Orton came on the scene in 2000, they were still making characters. Randy Orton looks like a wrestler to people like me. Then you had the little bit of business with Zayn and Owens getting heat on Shane McMahon, which I thought was good. That was good continuous storytelling from SmackDown. Strowman then went over Orton. Before we get to this, here's what I want to tell you. You could have all the Nakamuras in this match and the Roodes and the Joes and the Balors. Look who was left in this match. Look who was left in the match. Braun Strowman, Kurt Angle, Triple H, Randy Orton, and Shane McMahon. All 5 of those guys are stars and were built like stars when they were still building stars. Kurt Angle came to the WWE a month after I left in 1999. Orton's been there since 2000. I worked with Shane. I worked with Triple H. So these are established stars. So when you look at who's left, they're telling you, we know these guys are the stars. And those are the guys that the casuals want to see. So Strowman beat Orton, which was good. Then we did the deal where it was Shane on all 3 guys. Kurt Angle had Shane beat, which was good. It finally gave Kurt his payback. Shane was, ready to tap. All that was good. But then Triple H came out. He pedigreed Kurt. Shane then pinned Kurt, and then Triple H pedigreed his brother-in-law, Shane McMahon. Strowman and Triple H were the last 2 guys standing. Strowman didn't know what was going on. So then he basically power slammed Triple H twice. Okay, let me talk about the end for a little bit. Here's my perception with Triple H. This is Vince Russo's perception. Okay, this isn't that it's right, it's wrong, it's indifferent. This is my perception. Every time Triple H gives somebody the rub, and in this case, it was Braun Strowman, it just seems like he's got to get himself over first. So, the way this thing is laid out, and who knows, maybe the freaking, writers are thinking that way. Oh, we got to get Triple H over first because he's the boss, and then he'll give the rub to somebody else. But out of all these guys, a guy who's never on the show wins the match. Triple H wins the match. So, we got to get Triple H over first. Then we'll give Braun Strowman the rub. And that's what happened. Strowman powerbombed, Triple H twice. But it just, like I said, it just seems to me, before he gives somebody the rub, he's got to go over first. And, whatever, man. He's CEO. It's your company, bro. And again, bro, people can say, oh yeah, Vince, you put yourself over at WCW. No, bro, I didn't put myself over. I got driven through a freaking steel cage head freaking first to get Goldberg over. Okay, and then 2 days later, I handed the belt over. That's different than me beating Kurt Angle in a match that they put me in at the last minute. 2 completely different things. But bro, with all that being said, it doesn't even matter. Here's what I don't understand, though. I'm still looking back, and there's still, remember, bro, Brock Lesnar beat Braun Strowman. And then they seem to have to rebuild Strowman all over again. I don't know why Lesnar easily beat Strowman. I still don't understand that. And obviously, there's a reason for it that those writing and those in the know at the WWE, there's a reason for it. There's a reason why they did it. There has to be. But what they don't understand is, we don't know that reason. So we're looking at Strowman again being built as this monster a second time, and we're asking ourselves the question, well, where are we going with this? Because Brock already beat him, and Brock beat him rather easily. So, again, I know there was a reason for it. I'm not going to make believe I know. I'm not going to say I got insiders. I'm not on the phone every day asking why, because quite frankly, I don't care. I'm just telling you from a television viewpoint. I'm sitting here watching, and okay, you're building a monster above men. If I think that's what you call him. Well, Brock Lesnar already beat him. So, where you going with him? So, that's it, bro. This was a 2-match pay-per-view. I thought, bro, for the most part, I thought the last 2 matches were good. I thought it ended a little flat. That's my opinion. That's it, bro. That's my Survivor Series review. Tomorrow night, we will be reviewing SmackDown and Raw. I hope they follow up on a lot of these stories. I mean, I really do. They got to follow up, with Triple H and Kurt Angle. There are things that they need to follow up on, and I hope that happens tonight. We will be doing on Realm Network on Wednesday. You will hear the SmackDown Raw review with myself, Kenny Bolin, Jeff Lane, and Big Vito. And then you'll get that the following day audio only on Podcast One. Remember, my shows, Podcast One, 5 days a week. You could see them on video a day earlier, including castrating the marks once a week for less than $1 a month. You have to go to Realm Network, relmnetwork.com. Also, remember, Sunday, I'm going to be doing a radio show here in Denver on 710 KNUS. It streams live no matter where you are. You're going to be able to call in 8 to 11 o'clock Mountain Time on next Sunday. The number to call, 303-696-1971. Okay, guys, if that was a negative review and you want to take that as a negative review, take it as a negative review, bro. I'm not going to freaking apologize to you. That was my review, and that's what I thought of the SmackDown show. I will see everybody tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, man. See you tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel.